Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well out there. And today we're going to head back to 2004 for the second time they tried to adapt Stephen King's Salem's Lot. But before we do that, do me a favor, like, comment, and subscribe. Join me here. I greatly appreciate that. Also, as always, shameless plug for my TeePublic and my Zazzle store. I'll leave a link for both of those in the description box below. And today we're going to head back to 2004, like I said, for the 2004 Salem's Lot that aired on TNT June 20th of 2004. I've only ever seen this version once, and it was when it aired back in 2004. So I remember some of it, but a lot of it I'd forgotten because it's been that long since I've seen it, 20 years since I've seen this bad boy. So I bought the DVD on eBay for like $8, and I sat down and watched this bad boy last night. And honestly, this Salem's Lot franchise or all these movies, I didn't plan on reviewing all these for Halloween. It just kind of happened with the advent of the new release of the new Salem's Lot movie. I went back and re-reviewed the 79 Tobe Hooper directed one, which is, I love that film. I gave it a 9.5 out of 10. Do this one, we're going to talk about it right now. This movie had a $25 million budget. It was a big deal at the time they were redoing it. It aired on TNT, as I said. And in this film, we got Rob Lowe as Ben Mears. We got Andre Braugher as Matt Burke, his teacher when he lived in Salem's Lot. We got Donald Sutherland playing Stryker in this film, the great Donald Sutherland. Samantha Mathis plays Susan in this film. We also got Dan Bird plays Mark Petrie. He takes over that role. And also in this film, we got Rutger Hauer plays Barlow. This is the Barlow version. From what I understand, it is more in line with the book. It's not the monstrous Nosferatu vampire that we got in Tobe Hooper's version. And James Cromwell plays the priest in town, Father Callahan. And if you saw the 79 version or ever read the book, you know how this one goes. Ben Mears comes back to Salem's Lot to write a book about the Marston house. Just as he arrives in town, Stryker and Barlow buy the Marston house. Or we find out later that they were invited into town by the real estate agent. And all of a sudden, strange things start to happen. Two young boys, one young boy disappears, one gets severely ill, ends up dying after feasting on his own blood. And just like the other version, the Tobe Hooper version, the town starts seeing people disappearing, falling ill. Before we know it, we have a vampire outbreak. And at the end of the film, the only two left, once again, are Ben and Mark, who hit the road. And at the end, Ben takes out Father Callahan. He ends up passing away, and Mark gets away to live and fight another day against a vampire threat. And that is Salem's Lot, 2004. There is some more to this one, or some different, they take a different angle on certain things. And obviously, this is a more updated version. I mean, the other one took place in 1979. This one has a little bit more, some of the characters are a little more edgy for 2004. So what to like about this version of Salem's Lot? Well, I think the cast obviously is a really strong cast, and they're all capable of doing really great acting work, and they're good here. They're good here for what they're given to do. Obviously, this version takes different choices with it. It's a more modern adaptation for at the time. It's very much set in real day, 2004. There's cell phones and whatnot, that version of cell phones, internet, stuff like that, and because it's even referenced throughout the film. I will say, though, I love the original. I think Tobe Hooper directs the crap out of that film. It's very well shot. It's shot just like a movie. The tone, the atmosphere, getting to know this small town, the players in town. They do a lot of the same work here. But I think where this version goes astray, and I've heard this version's more honors the book more. If you know, let me know down below in the comments, because I don't know. I never read the book. I prefer the Tobe Hooper version. And why I prefer the Tobe Hooper version, plus I think it's a better made movie, the original 1979 version. This one, I hate the vampire effects. The eye effects look like garbage. Even for 2004, I remember watching this back then. I do remember that, and I was not impressed with the eye. I think the eye effects in 79 look way better, and they had a hell of a lot more money here 25 years later after they made the original. I don't like... Rutger Hauer's a great actor, and I think he's good here for what he's given to do, and I know this is more in line with the book. More well-dressed, more well-spoken, not a monster like in Tobe Hooper's version. I don't like Barlow in this film. Rutger Hauer's fine, but I don't like Barlow in this film. I don't like Stryker. Donald Sutherland. I love Donald Sutherland, and he's a great actor. Was a great actor. God rest his soul. I hate this version of Stryker. I prefer the James Mason version to this one by far. And I definitely rather the Barlow from the 19. I rather that monstrous Nosferatu vampire compared to this one. The kid scenes, they recreate some of those kid scenes, those famous kid scenes from like floating outside the window. Here, they're laughable. They look awful because from the effects work, the CGI, it just doesn't come off well. The vampire makeup looks like shit. I don't like it. Definitely a step down considering they had more money. This was shot in Australia as well. And vampires don't work here for me at all. It might be more in line with the book, but I do not like these vampires at all. They're not creepy. They kind of look silly with the makeup and the eye effects. Even like there's green screen in outdoor scenes because the sky looks fake as hell. I don't know why they chose some of the choices they made with this film, but it takes me right out of it. It took me right out of it back in 2004, and rewatching it for the first time since then just brought me back to that place where this movie looks cheap and they had a decent budget. I mean, like again, it was the 1979 version is creepier. I even like the portrayal of those characters better in the 79 version. I don't like Barlow here. I don't like Stryker here. The vampires look awful. They're laughable. It's just not. It's just a very big step down from the 1979 original. It ends pretty much like the original does in a way. There's some different, like I said, there's some different flavor in there. There's some different scenes, some different information about some of the characters. It's not the same, like some of the characters don't come off the same as the 79 version, and that's fine. You want to do something a little bit different, and it might be more in line with the book. Again, I'm not sure. But I don't like the portrayal of Stryker or Barlow here, and that really, again, two great actors. I just don't like what they were going for here. It wasn't my cup of tea. The movie's not a total dumpster fire, but this is definitely not as well made. The vampires are laughable. There's no suspense or creepy factor here. Even the scene when the vampire comes back to Matt's house, like in the original, and Jeffrey Lewis is found sitting in the rocking chair, there's no suspense there. It's just laughable, honestly. It comes off as laughable. And there's actors here doing good work. It's just the way they decide to shoot it and the way they try to pull it off, it just doesn't work. At the end of the day, this is not my favorite version of Salem's Lot, honestly. A little trivia, they used 300 extras throughout the production of this film in Australia. And the funny thing is, a little duality here, Rutger Hauer and Donald Sutherland was in another vampire movie together, the original Buffy the Vampire Slayer with Christy Swanson back in 92, where Rutger Hauer played the leader of a vampire coven, and Donald Sutherland was the teacher of Buffy in that film. So I thought that was pretty cool as well. But overall, this is my least favorite version of Salem's Lot. It does not compare to the 79 version. And I would give this one, at the end of the day, a 6 out of 10. It's okay. It's just marginally okay. You can have a decent enough time with it, but it's definitely far inferior to the 1979 version. So yeah, 6 out of 10 for 2004's Salem's Lot. Have you ever seen this version? Leave a comment down below. Let me know. Hit the thumbs up. Hit the subscribe button. Share this video. I greatly would appreciate that. I'll be back soon with another video, but until next time, bye.